Before we continue the episode, we want to shout out this episode's sponsor, BetterHelp. BetterHelp is an alternative option to in-person counseling. You can do it anywhere as long as you have a connection via computer or phone. Within just 48 hours of registering, you can match with a professional to speak about your issues. And if you don't feel like it's a good match, BetterHelp lets you switch until you find the right professional. So make sure to check out betterhelp.com/beautybar. There are so many different counselors that specialize to suit your specific needs, whether it's stress, depression, or anxiety. There's an entire list you can check out on their website, along with opportunities for financial aid for those qualified. I think mental health is so important. It's something we should all care about in the same way we exercise our bodies for physical health. And I appreciate services such as BetterHelp that exist to help make counseling more accessible. So if you feel you need a professional that really cares to speak with, I suggest checking out BetterHelp as a potential option. I want you to start living a happier life today. As a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at betterhelp.com/beautybar. Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/beautybar.
I love this time of year, but hate the pressure that comes with trying to find the perfect gift. So one of the hardest people to get gifts for is definitely my friends with children, because I don't want to get them something that will clutter the house or that they'll throw away in a year. Luckily, this episode's sponsor gives me a solution. So this year, I'm giving them a gift to last a lifetime, the gift of learning with Outschool. Outschool offers the largest variety of live interactive online classes for kids pre-K through high school. Classes are actually fun and cover every interest you can think of and some you can't, like video game design, cartoon animation, playing an instrument, speaking a language, creative writing, and so much more. There's something for any kid. Classes are super affordable. You can choose the size and group that works best for your child, giving them the experience that's best for them. Outschool even has one-on-one classes. Classes bring kids together around their shared passions and interests, helping them to fall in love with learning, make real connections, and new friends. Outschool makes it easy for kids to learn what they love, a gift that gives back to them over and over for their whole lives. I'm definitely going to give my friends children a gift that will last a lifetime, and you can too. To learn more about all Outschool has to offer and save $15 off your child's first class, go to outschool.com/bar. That's OUTSCHOOL.com/bar to save $15 off your child's first class. Outschool.com/bar.
Welcome to the Beauty Bar, where we tend to beautiful people just like you. We're your hosts,
Joan
and Stefanie, and we want to make sure you're not only treating your face, but most importantly, yourself right.
Yes, and today we're talking about love languages and how for many they express their love through food. I truly believe this because when I was a student, I remember a lot of events, they would always put on their flyer, there's pizza, free pizza.
and
I'm like,
go?
I love this ad. Yeah, no, for sure.
They know their target audience.
They know how to express their love through food.
I don't know if they have an equivalent in English, but in German we have a saying that love goes through your stomach.
I love that.
Liebe geht durch den Magen. So if you want to make someone fall in love with you, you have to give them or make them good food. It's like it's a thing.
Oh my gosh. We don't have an equivalent of that, but I do really like that. And I believe that as a fact.
It is. It's just, I also love making food and just bringing people together and feeding them, and just makes me so happy.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like the Korean mom sometimes. I feel like I'm like, oh, 더 먹어. Just keep spoon feeding my fiance.
Oh my gosh. I don't cook as much. I don't cook as much, but I do believe that because in college we would I cooked a lot for my roommates. Well, not a lot, but I cooked occasionally for my roommates because I make really good tteokbokki and kimchi fried rice. I mastered the kimchi fried rice.
Oh,
you know why?
why?
Because
What's
of
the secret?
taeyang.
What? Taeyang? Big Bang Taeyang?
Well, what other Taeyang?
I don't know. It could be just a random person.
Do you listen to his music?
Yeah, of course. Big Bang. Hello.
I Need a Girl. There's a lyric.
Oh, really?
김치볶음밥 잘 먹어주는 여자. I really thought I needed to. I didn't like fried rice until that song.
You took it too hard. You're like, I'm gonna make him fall in love with me.
You know, 청바지?
네.
치마보다 청바지 입은 여자. I started wearing jeans because of Taeyang. Well, okay, that's a lie, but I wore it more because of Taeyang. I truly believed that I was going to marry him, and when he announced his, wedding, I got so many texts from my college friends, asking if I was okay, and I'm like, guys.
Next time I'll see him, I'll let him know. I'm like, oh, my friend, she wears denim jeans and she loves
kimchi fried rice.
I'm like, I'll share that random information.
Yeah, no, you have to. Today's episode is our last episode for season 2.
We did another 12 episodes and it went by so fast.
It really did.
Do you have some favorite moments?
My favorite moment. Oh my gosh, there's just so many. There's a whole 24 episodes that you guys can watch to see our favorite moments.
I personally love the Halloween episode.
Oh my gosh.
The makeup challenge.
I know, that was so fun.
Joan's crazy make-out clown makeup.
Makeup?
It looks like a clown who just passionately kiss someone.
Okay, yeah, that was a good episode.
That was fun. I really liked that one.
Oh my gosh.
We had so many fun guests too.
I know. I really enjoyed the Matthew episode with the model. I feel like I learned so much about how to become a model in that episode.
Joan was crushing hard.
I was crushing really hard. Okay, actually, you got me there, Steph. Okay. Gen Z's my favorite. Gen Z's my ideal type, You
like when guys call you Nuna?
I do. I actually do.
Diane just vomited on the floor.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was a fun episode. What other episode?
I like David's episode a lot too.
Oh my gosh, yes.
The posing one. I mean, we had so many interesting guests.
Yeah, we did. We had Connor Franta.
That was the first one.
I was fangirling like crazy because I watched him for a decade. That was a moment for me. And today, we also have a very special guest joining us for the season finale.
I watched all her videos.
Who is it?
She is just an amazing cook. She studied food science. Doobydobap.
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 Tina is going to join us. Very excited. So stay tuned for a very tasty episode. Make sure to follow and review this podcast on Spotify and on Apple Podcast.
And if you hate ads, consider becoming a member of the Dive Studios Patreon where you can access ad-free episodes.
We have the lovely Tina Choi, aka doobydobap.
Ooh, welcome.
Oh my god.
So nice to meet you guys.
Yeah.
I know,
nice
I literally walked in and was like, oh my god, you guys are real people. I just watch you guys. So it's just it feels surreal. Oh my god.
Now you're here.
I know.
Today we have Tina, and she is quite the content queen. She's on YouTube, TikTok, what else? Instagram. Now on Beauty Bar Podcast.
I made it.
Just busy. I was stalking your TikTok last night. Oh my god, I was so hungry, and that was the worst thing you can do.
Yeah,
is when you're hungry, go on your TikTok. I'm like, I'm gonna make all this. I'm gonna look up all these recipes on your website, and I'm like, oh my god. And then, we just ended up going to shabu shabu. But
I'm honored. I'm honestly blushing.
There was even your gochujang pasta. I'm definitely gonna try making that. That looked so good. Yeah. And I love cooking, so I'm I swear I'm gonna try all these recipes.
I'm so flattered.
Cooking.
So flattered, honestly.
And you studied food science at Cornell University, right? How is it different from just culinary school?
Very different. technically, like we're under the engineering branch almost. So, first year, second year, it's all the very rudimentary science courses. So a little about me. So I was actually planning on going to grad school in like pharmacy. So a lot of the pre-requirements were the same. So I was like, I love food. Like, I don't know what I love. One thing I do love is eating and food. So I'll take food science, and it has all the rudimentary science courses. So I'll apply. So a lot of the science part, it's the easiest way to explain it is whenever you grab a product in the grocery store, like it has to have gone through a food scientist at some point. So it's a lot of like quality, safety, research and development, also like marketing. So it encompasses a lot, but not specifically limited to the food cooking aspect of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, everything else. That's like my low-key, my dream job was to be a food developer at McDonald's.
Oh my God.
That was like, I'm not even kidding.
That's
that
so
was like my
specific.
dream. I'm like, I want to make these new like sauces and burgers. Like that sounded so fun. Is that
so
something
cool.
you would do with like your degree? Is that
For sure. Yeah, we have a lot of people who go into a lot of these. Yeah, we have a lot of people who go into like Kraft and Heinz and Coca-Cola. And usually the developing part, it's not as glamorous as you might think. It's working in labs, like pipetting. I worked for a long time, I worked in a lab as well. So yes, it is fun in theory, but day to day, it's not as exciting for me personally, but definitely a very, very important job.
For like the actual cooking part of it. So it was that part of your degree then as well, the cooking part, or was it something you were just interested in and you were able to apply your major to?
So cooking was definitely something that was separate from my degree, but a passion of mine. I would cook for my friends. I would host like Thursday, Thursday dinner, like supper clubs, and Taco Tuesdays. Like I just loved cooking for my friends, and food is my love language, is how I express my appreciation for people. So it was just like something that I loved. I never thought that I would actually be pursuing a career making food or food content even. Like it's a very new phenomena for me. Yeah.
I remember taking a course in college called nutrition science. And I think that like if I were to take more classes, I feel like it would be a lot of the science aspect of that. But I remember every time I went to that class, I would come back home and like I would want to eat healthier because there's just so much information about food. And I was a freshman in college at the time, and I was like gaining freshman 17, 15 going on 17. And so I think that course sort of helped me in some sort of way because I learned what was good. And actually, it's been like a long time, so I don't really remember too much detail, but I do remember every time I went to that class, I would come back like wanting healthier food.
You know what's really funny? A lot of like nutritional science kids, like the stereotype is they're all like bodybuilders and they're like super jacked. They're just like, you go into nutrition class and you think like, the stereotype, the bias is you think it's going to be like girls who are like really into eating healthy, but no, it's like really huge dudes, like huge shoes, like barely fitting into the chair and being like, okay, so corn's no bueno, right? It's really like interesting. But definitely like for me, I took a lot of nutritional science courses as well, but it was really difficult for me to put theory into action. Yeah. Like I'd be studying for nutritional final, just like going through like half a tub of peanut butter, just be like, like too much lipid, like too much fattiness, like no, like that's not good. Oleic acid, but I'm just like, I'm a hypocrite.
Oh my God.
Do they teach, because you also went to high school in the US, right? Because in Germany, we actually have a cooking class that's required in high school in 7th grade. Yeah. So we like learn about like nutrition, and then we also have to cook in this class. And it was just wild. If you just have a bunch of 7th grader like trying to make anything.
Oh my gosh.
I remember setting the kitchen on fire.
I have like really bad memories with cooking class because I got my first ever C in cooking.
Well, C for cooking.
Yeah, I know. And it's because like I'm not a bake. Like I'm not a baker. Like
baking is hard.
It was baking. Cooking, baking. Yeah, I got my first C in that class, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is difficult." So
I'm actually not a baker as well. Yeah, like I'm bad with directions. Like I'm just very bad at following simple directions. I'm quite stubborn. I don't like it when people tell me to do like put it in the oven at 350 for 12 minutes. I'm like, no, I'm gonna put it for like 10 minutes,
Yeah.
you know? So I'm also not like the most avid baker.
Yeah, no,
So I
I
have
do.
immense respect for people who do desserts
Right.
and baking.
It's like so
No, yeah.
precise to baking.
Mhm.
I just
Yeah.
made pizza muffins the other
Oh
day.
my gosh, that sounds
Ooh.
yum.
Oh yeah, it's from
fancy.
my grandma's recipe.
Oh.
And I'm like, they looked all cute in their little cupcake like cups, and then they baked and it just became like these monsters. I'm like, oh my god, but it tasted
was it good?
amazing.
That's what
Okay.
matters.
But
Yeah.
they looked like just like, ugh. But
Yeah.
it was good. And I think that's the most important thing. But I mean, your food is all so beautiful and aesthetic. I'm like, and, you introduced like this knife.
Yeah.
What's it called? Your cooking knife. It's like this big blade.
Oh,
What's it called?
a cleaver. Yeah,
A cleaver.
yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
like, I need to buy this now.
Yeah, I know. It's so like badass. Am I allowed to say
Yeah.
that? Okay.
You can cuss on here. Can say whatever you want.
Yeah, it's so badass. What I love about my cleaver is that it has a lot of weight. So like I'm like kind of small. So sometimes when I'm like trying to like hack through like a heavy cut of meat, like it provides that extra strength that I need. Yeah. I
that's
always say
awesome.
that like cook's knife is like an extension of your arm. It's like a wand to it's like your own wand in Harry Potter, you know, like how everyone has like their own wand. So definitely having like the knife that you love is super important, and it looks cool, you know? Like you gotta
it
have
looks
one.
really cool. I'm like, I want to, because I do also use like I don't even know what it's called, but I'll just say whenever I use a big knife for cooking, my fiance is always like, be careful. And I'm like, I do this when you're not here too. Like, why do you think now I'm gonna? Well, I did slice my hand open one time right here.
No.
But yeah, besides that,
Maybe you should tell him
accidents.
to be careful. When
Yeah.
you're holding the big knife, you're like, be careful.
Yeah, I slipped one time and it just sliced through my hand.
Oh,
But it
my
passed out. But it's
gosh.
all good. It happens.
Yeah, I'm not really good
Some
with the
blood
knife.
seasoning.
No, I tried cutting an apple and like my grandma just started laughing. She's like, "That's not how you cut an apple," and I was like, "It's working for me." And then the apples turned yellow by the time I was done. So I was like, "Well, it's just all for me anyway." Oh no, I know.
Can you do? I mean, I've seen your videos. You like the chop 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 chop. Like you go
Super fast.
so cool. But even one thing, I took a cooking class in Bali one time, and it was like even how you hold the knife, like the little things when you're just like cooking for yourself or your friends, like professionals like you. There's like these little tips that. Yeah.
I'm no professional by any means. I'm just an avid cook. But there's definitely, I think it's important to learn some of the basics so that like you can avoid situations where you get hurt, right? So like holding the knife, like for example, if you hold the knife too closely, like when you're putting force into it, it can cut into you, right? So like it's like, you know, it's important to learn these things in order to
Safely
prevent situations like
yeah.
this. I'm
This
so
beautiful
sad.
scar now.
Oh,
It's your like war. It's your little like trophy. It's like
it was
I'm a hard worker.
It was. I tried cutting frozen meat with a knife. It was just a bad idea.
scissors. No, in Korea, I remember
thing
when
ever.
I first saw people like, I mean, I'm used to it because like my mom is used to it. But then when I was working radio, my host was like talking about how much of a culture shock it was when people started cutting the meat with not scissors. And I was like, yeah, it's convenient. It's quick.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's so underrated. Like I always say,
it's underrated.
I know,
It is.
and like I don't know why people don't like. I cut pizza with scissors if it comes as a whole pie. Like I would just like, and like everyone would just be like, oh my god,
Mind
like, that,
blown.
Like, that's so crazy. I'm just like, no, it's super simple, and you just gotta like utilize it. I believe that scissors are the most underrated kitchen equipment
Ooh.
of all time.
I've been trying to make my German family use scissors for cooking, and they're just like mind blown. But it's so, like you said, it's just the best thing ever. And now weirdly, when I cook, I always use chopsticks for cooking.
Oh,
I got
yeah.
so used to it, and yeah, that's like my go-to. I'm like, making some chon, like choop choop choop. And
She's just Korean, but
Yeah.
at this point, you're just Korean.
Because I
Like-
learned it from my fiance's mom, like many
No.
recipes she like shows me. So she does it. So I just do it like that. And that's where I learn it from. But I love Korean food. It's like so much more. It has like spice to it and like flavor. German food is very bland.
No,
I'm sure it's just as
It's
good.
like, how many things can we do with this potato? That's like literally what German food
I
is.
love potatoes though. I love German food too. I love all types of food. I'm just a glutton for everything. Yeah.
Do you have like a favorite recipe or like type of food you love or an ingredient you're like, oh, I love cooking like beef or anything?
I'm a huge geek for fermentation. Like that's what I love. In the beginning, so like a lot of my lab work that I did in school, like my thesis and everything had to do with fermentation. So definitely super into like funkiness.
Wow.
You know, like I love making my own, like I've tried making my own makgeolli. I brew my own kombucha. I've
so
tried for a
cool.
while to like make my own vinegar, and then the house just smelled like feet. Wasn't the best project that I did, but I think fermentation is something that I'm really passionate about that I don't show often on my content because it's a big project and it takes a long time, but definitely something that I want to like showcase more for sure.
So cool.
Oh, you should try making some German sauerkraut.
Love making sauerkraut. I always have like a big tub of sauerkraut like ready in my fridge. Like whenever I love hot dogs. Like hot dogs are probably the way I'm going to die. Like I just put like 50% kraut and like 10% hot dog, and it's or like 50% hot dog, and that's just my favorite way to eat a hot dog.
Wow.
That's because I've never made sauerkraut before. I made kimchi, but I never made sauerkraut.
Excuse me? Who are you? Like we're like flipped
I
right
don't
now.
even know how to make sauerkraut.
It's so simple. You just like salt and cabbage and thyme. Oh, and then a little bit of love.
Oh wow, I love that.
That's the way. Yeah, that's crazy. Sauerkraut, even my grandma, like everybody just buys it at the store. It's not like in Korea where you're like, my mom's kimchi, like it's like, you know, that's how my family makes. It's not a thing. Everybody just buys it.
It's like the time though, right now to make kimchi.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom made kimchi while I was gone for the weekend, and I was like, why didn't you wait for me? But every time I like cook with my mom or like my aunts or grandma, I feel like I don't learn anything because for them, they don't do measuring cups. They're just like, 그냥 대충 넣어. So it's like, just put as much as you feel. And I'm like, I want to remember this, but then they just know how much by instinct, I feel like. And so I just watch. I just don't even
You have to
try.
rub the cabbage.
Yeah.
It just takes forever.
Put everything in.
I think like one of my favorite Korean words is 손맛, which translates to
손맛.
like hand taste. It's just like you feel the taste by hand.
Yeah.
And I think it's just like so beautiful how like my grandma's like that too. And she's the person that really inspired me to cook and just even get into food. And she also does not measure anything.
Nothing.
But then watching, I feel like I've watched her cook for so long and I never was like super interested in it. But then I would just like kind of like take a glance like that, right? And I think that was what like kind of like influenced me during these formative years to really love cooking. And I think that's the beauty of just watching, whether it's your halmoni or your nana or your grandma cook. Like I love that aspect. Yeah,
And I feel like grandmas, they just have this special touch.
they do.
Yeah.
Like my grandma makes the best German potato salad in the entire world. And I love, not mayo, not this like US shit where they put mayo in potato salad. That should be illegal. And it's very simple. It's just potatoes with like olive oil and vinegar and like salt and pepper. It's like very simple, but it's like sometimes she put pickles in it too. And it's just so good. And every time I go to Germany, she waits at the airport with like a kilo.
She's like,
of
welcome back
potato salad
to Germany.
And I'm like super jet lagged, so I'll wake up at 3 a.m. just like eating potato salad from the fridge, and it's
so
my
cute.
best memory. And no, I cannot make it. My mom cannot make it like that. It's just grandma. She just knows. Grandmas just freaking know. They have that touch. It's not like mom's touch. It's like grandma.
Mom's touch.
Yeah. I love like a little bit like experimenting with food too, I guess. And I made mango kimchi.
Oh.
Which, if you think about like living in Los Angeles, there's a lot of Mexican people, and they eat the mango with like this like red pepper
Tahini,
spice,
yeah.
right? So I'm like, I wonder how it would taste if you make mango with like the kimchi sauce that you make kimchi with. Bomb.
Oh, really?
That sounds so amazing. I
It's-
mean, in theory, it's perfect,
Exactly.
right? Like it also has elements of Thai food. If you think about it, like green papaya salad, it's the same concept, right? So I think that's amazing. Like I always say also like kimchi is a verb. It's not an actual product,
Yeah.
right? So you like kimchify it.
Yes.
You can kimchify anything. So
Yeah.
I love that. Like, that's
love
beautiful.
that.
I'm actually
Kimchi's
like,
a verb.
I'm like, I have hearts coming out of my eyes right now. That's genius. Yes.
So you make food content, and I've tried, and it's always difficult because I want it to look as aesthetic as possible. Do you ever feel pressure to make it look nice, make sure everything is squeaky clean and whatnot? Like, how does that work for you?
I'd be lying if I said that, oh yeah, that's just the way I eat every day. Like I would definitely be lying. Of course, I think there's a Korean proverb that goes, you eat food with your eyes. So it's definitely a huge aspect and a component of my job. Yeah, there's times where I like plate it, but then there's like a little bit of splatterage on the side of the bowl. I'm just like, where? So that happens behind the scenes.
Right.
I'm exposing myself. But yeah, I definitely feel the pressure of that. But it's something that I enjoy though. I think like aesthetic food is just like, I love looking at pretty food as well. And I think it's a form of artistry. So yeah.
Like even for salt, people would always put it in like mini plates, but no one cooks like that. Or maybe it's just me. I'm just like, okay, salt kind of thing. So I guess it could be fun to like set that up as well too, right?
Yeah, I think it's just all part of really like executing the content. A lot of it is, like making sure things are pretty. If someone uploaded a video of their dirty kitchen and like, just throwing everything's like, you have a little bit of sauce everywhere. It's definitely not a great look, right? So I think it is part of my job to make sure that everything looks clean. And it also holds me accountable to be like clean up after myself, because if I'm just cooking for myself, I'm just like, just like,
Yeah, it doesn't matter
so
as much.
I enjoy it. I enjoy the aspect of
good.
it. Yeah.
Like you said, like food plating is like such another whole, like you said, art.
Yeah.
I suck at food play. I'm like, bam, here it is, eat. It might be delicious, but you said you eat with your eyes too. And that's something I would love to like learn more about, like the nice plating of things.
Hey, good food, you want to like almost close your eyes and eat it, so like you don't see it. So your pizza muffins, I'm sure
I'll
like
say next time.
like
I'm
the
like,
Ratatouille moment where the fireworks go off, like I can imagine that.
I'm so hungry.
Yeah, I know. I just got so hungry right now.
I know. How do you film or take photos of food? Do you have like a good tip?
I would say natural light is king. Like there's really no better lighting than natural light. And sometimes I wake up at 6 a.m. and start prepping so that I don't lose daytime. Yeah, so like on rainy days, so I actually lived in London for a while where it was just like I would have daylight for like 30 minutes a day sometimes. It was really depressing because I would just be like, I'll try and finish a dish, but then the lighting wouldn't be perfect and I'll just be like, oh, So there's moments like that, natural light. I would also say, surprisingly enough, you don't need fancy gear to film. I still film most of my videos, short form content with my iPhone. And like I don't use an external mic at all. It's just about making sure that you get the processes. And, if we want to get technical, like I do like the audio peaks so that, for the ASMR component of it. But think simple, clean, natural light, bright is the best answer that I can give, I think.
Agree.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love taking pictures of food. Like, and also I feel like every food picture just performs well on social media because it speaks through the screen. Like,
Everybody's
it makes
hungry
people
all the
hungry.
time.
For sure.
Yeah, and so no matter what you take, I feel like it always performs well. And there's like this TikTok calls, no matter, it's about cheese and how it's the most famous thing. No, I forgot what the audio
Joan's
was. It's
deadly
like,
weapon.
you can be as famous as you want, but you can never be as popular and famous as cheese. I probably rendered that so wrong, but does that make sense? Like cheese is Food
Amen.
is always
Amen. I
gonna
cannot
win.
agree harder to that.
Yeah, right.
And like the thing is, like you don't need language to speak through food.
You don't.
It's just like you have a good, beautiful like piece of or bowl of food in front of you. Like no matter where you're from, like everyone's gonna salivate if it's something that everyone can enjoy. You know.
Yeah.
So good food knows like no borders. I would say.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I love food.
I saw your video, Cup Ramen Fried Rice, and that looked so bomb. And we're actually, under your judgment, gonna try and make it today. Can you kind of share with our listeners and viewers what are like the steps? Can you break it down for us real quick?
Okay, so there's really two components to making the ramen fried rice. You first want to have the crunchy bits. Take notes.
Crunchy bits.
And the crunchy bits, you take the cup noodles, take it out in a mortar and pestle, ground it up into little bite-sized, little crumbs, and we're going to kind of toast it in the oil. So it becomes really golden, super crunchy, and that's going to be our topping. And then we're going to do a day-old rice, an egg, and we're going to put the egg before we even pan fry it. And that helps coat individual granules and it keeps the day-old rice moist as well. We're going to do that, add a little bit of condiments, and also 2/3 of the ramen soup packet. And that's going to be our flavoring agent. And mix it all up with a little bit of sesame oil for that umami. And we're going to stir fry it. We're going to stir fry it. And the rice is going to look super golden with the hint of spice coming from the ramen packet. And then we take that same cup noodle medium, I guess, like cup noodle cup. Yeah, cup noodle cup. And we're going to put the crunchy bits of the ramen first so that when we flip it, the crunchy bits come on top as a beautiful garnish. A little bit of sesame seeds, a little bit of sesame oil because we fancy like that. And then we put the fried rice in. Flip it, and voila, we have a beautiful volcano of a ramen fried rice.
Wow. Okay, so for those of you guys who are listening first before our YouTube video goes live, make sure to wait for that episode and watch us struggle because I don't know how this will turn out.
Did you write down notes?
Okay.
I have just like words, like crunchy bits, rice, egg. And I'm like, wait.
Mix, fry, butter.
Yeah, so stay tuned and let's get started with the cooking.
Let's do it. Before we continue the episode, we want to shout out this episode's sponsor, BetterHelp. BetterHelp is an alternative option to in-person counseling. You can do it anywhere as long as you have a connection via computer or phone. Within just 48 hours of registering, you can match with a professional to speak about your issues. And if you don't feel like it's a good match, BetterHelp lets you switch until you find the right professional. So make sure to check out betterhelp.com/beautybar. There are so many different counselors that specialize to suit your specific needs, whether it's stress, depression, or anxiety. There's an entire list you can check out on their website, along with opportunities for financial aid for those qualified. I think mental health is so important, it's something we should all care about in the same way we exercise our bodies for physical health. And I appreciate services such as BetterHelp that exist to help make counseling more accessible. So if you feel you need a professional that really cares to speak with, I suggest checking out BetterHelp as a potential option. I want you to start living a happier life today. As a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at betterhelp.com/beautybar. Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/beautybar.
All right, we are at the beauty kitchen today, not the bar. And we do want to point out this is a very casual kitchen setting. We don't have all of the tools.
In a perfect world that you might have.
Right, but we're representing majority of I don't know.
Us.
We're representing us today. And we're going to work with what we got here at the beauty kitchen. And Tina over there in the corner is going to judge us and maybe like stop us if we're doing something wrong, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. We're making some food for the heart.
Yes.
For the soul.
Yeah.
Feels like Hell's Kitchen. You're gonna suck.
Oh no.
Idiot sandwich.
All right. So we are opening the packet. I'm doing a little bit of ASMR moment for you. And then we are gonna set aside the spice packet.
When I make ramen, I cannot even eat the entire thing.
Really?
I put like such a little bit, and I have a container at home where I just save all the leftover ramyun spice. And when you make fried chicken, that's good to dip it in there.
Really?
Yeah, just a little fun side.
Oh
fun
my
fact.
gosh, that is a great tip.
Yeah,
So we are going to crush the noodles
with the stuff in it. Can I leave the green onions? Okay.
Yeah. Whoa! Oh my
Wait,
god!
mine is not coming out.
This is tiny. This is my first time seeing the ramen out of the bowl.
Sorry,
I thought
this
this
is
would be
so many.
like more. Okay.
Do you eat it just like?
No, I've never done that before.
People
This is
do
my
that,
first
right?
time seeing the noodles like this. I've never seen it.
My weapon is a fork.
It's getting everywhere. Okay, so
Oh my god,
we
I'm
are
so
crushing.
sorry. Diane, I'm so sorry. This is so good.
I'm shaking. I'm nervous.
You guys are doing a good job.
As
you.
my noodle looks the same,
It's
she's like, "You're doing a
everywhere.
great job, thank you."
Even in my orange juice, there is some ramen.
Oh my gosh, I'm nervous. So can I ask a question, Tina?
Nope. I'm just
Where-
kidding.
Okay then. So I saw the video about you going to a specific like 편의점 and then seeing you make this. Is that how you found out about this recipe? Because I've never seen it before.
Yeah, so there's a really cool hole in this wall, like little bodega stop in near Outschool,
Oh.
and that's where they made it. But it's a little bit of a different rendition. They actually cook the noodles beforehand and then
Yeah.
cook it with the fried rice, so it's kind of more moist. Like
Yeah, yeah,
mine's
yeah.
definitely more like has the crunchy part, so that's like something that I kind of like took a twist on.
Yeah.
But definitely my initial inspiration was from there.
From Outschool.
Yeah.
Outschool's the hot spot these days.
It's
like
the
a lot of-
hipjiro.
Hipjiro. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. All right. Okay, cool. All right.
Progress.
Okay, we did it.
We did it. So we're gonna add a tablespoon of neutral oil, but we don't have a tablespoon, so we're just gonna 손맛 this thing. Oh, we do have a tablespoon.
Let's use this spoon
I
that's
love
on
that.
the table.
Okay.
A little
Right.
more for good measure.
A little bit more.
No, that was good. That was perfect. That was
Yeah,
perfect.
that's what you do. Like you do a little bit of like.
Swirly.
Oh, look at me. I'm like,
It's all in the wrist.
like a professional.
All right. So are you ready for the next step?
Yeah, sort of in there, right?
Add the crushed ramen noodles, stir continuously, and move around the pan to toast evenly and not burn it. Okay, so we have to
Not burn
add
it.
our crushed ramen noodles. I never done this before. Oh, it's like
Why do I have so much less than you? I guess I know why.
you crushed it and you were eating it.
I was eating. I'm so hungry now.
Oh my gosh, it's turning brown. This is so cool.
Just turning brown already?
Oh my gosh, it smells so good. 냄새 진짜 좋다.
Oh my god, it is turning brown. Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go.
It's happening. What's the next step?
Okay,
Once it's brown?
So once it's brown, we're gonna set it all into another bowl, and then we're gonna add 1/3 of the spice packet to the crispy noodle while it's still hot, and then we're going to mix to combine. After that, we're going to reserve 2 tablespoons of the crispy noodles for garnish later. Okay, it's really turning brown.
Wow, yours is super.
I would go low and slow so that it's golden brown evenly, even heat distribution so that it doesn't burn and everything's kind of like golden and beautiful. That's what I would recommend. And don't be afraid to turn the heat off as well when you feel like it's like overcooking.
Yeah.
Like the residual heat will carry through. So
Yeah.
turn it off a little before it's actually super golden brown.
What's up, girl? What? Why? What happened? What?
It's like some parts are still
So
uncooked.
white,
And some
yeah.
are just like burned.
You know what? That's the vibe I'm going for. It kind of looks like 짜파게티.
You know what kind of smells like? Popcorn.
It does not smell like popcorn.
Yeah, it does. Doesn't it? Right?
Oh, it does. It sort of does.
Like the corn? Isn't like corn? Isn't there corn and oh,
Oh my gosh, yours is so cute. I definitely didn't crush correctly. I don't know if you guys can see on the screen, but I definitely have like these large yellow bits.
It's okay. It'll be like contrasting textural
Yeah, right?
elements.
That's what I was
It's how I write my
thinking.
essays, you know, the juxtaposition of
In
the white and the black.
contrast, in the end, in conclusion. I love that. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think I really do need to transfer this onto a bowl right now. It's okay. It doesn't matter. It's better than being burned, right? Because some pieces are definitely getting burned right now.
Good.
Okay, so the next step
Yes.
is we're going to have to do 1/3 of the spice packet to
Yes.
the crispy noodles while hot. And then we got to mix it up. Okay. And then later, we're going to mix to combine, reserve 2 tablespoons of the crispy noodles for garnish later. I'm just going to hold 1/3 of it.
You have to season it when it's hot so that while the oil's still on, the spice can adhere to the crunchy bits. So if you wait too long for it to get cold, like all the spice will just sink to the bottom. Yeah.
Oh, really?
So whenever you're frying anything, whenever you're seasoning, it's important to season it right after it comes off the heat.
Food science.
That's so cool.
Food science.
Oh my god. Would you like to have like our own restaurant someday or like
It's something that I've thought about, but I think my forte lies in content creation. There's a lot of other people who make much better food than I do, but what I'm good at, I think, is kind of showcasing it to the people. So maybe one day, but definitely not my priority. Yeah.
That's cool.
that'll be really fun.
Okay, 1 tablespoon of butter.
Do you want to use the same stick?
Yeah, let's save
some
butter.
butter.
I'm like the same.
Very smart. Resourcefulness, I would give it 1 point.
Yes. This is about a tablespoon,
Excuse
I would
me.
say so.
Okay, so the next step is to stir the rice and fry until the egg on the rice has cooked. This process will take about 4 minutes, and then you toss to combine. And then after 2 minutes, we're adding the crushed noodles in. I didn't even time myself, so hopefully.
Do it in your body clock.
Oh wow, yours looks so not spicy. Did you adjust it to your liking?
Yeah. There's like most of it left.
Oh really?
I just don't like. I can't.
Yeah, you
eat
can do
spicy
spicy.
food.
It's okay. No, ours both look very different. That's good.
I would say day-old
yourself?
rice is probably the most important thing. It's all about moisture control. In order to have fluffy fried rice, less moisture means fluffier and more granules just kind of like scattered everywhere. So that's key. So if you're unsure about making fried rice, cook out all the individual components separately so that all the moisture evaporates off and then mix the combined at the very end.
Good. Yeah, yours looks really good.
Yours looks good too.
Mine just looks very white.
Did you add the noodles in?
Not
Yeah.
yet.
Okay.
I did
So
add the
reserve
noodles
2
in.
tablespoons of the crunchy noodles
Mm-hmm. And then,
and then add the rest in.
okay. I'm definitely gonna make this at home.
All right. So this is the sesame oil. And how I would describe sesame oil is like it gives like that earthly taste. You know, like this nice. Yeah, I think I put too much, but it's key. This is the key for my fried rice. I feel like if this is not there, it just would not taste as good.
I call it the Korean cheat key. Like if you're not sure about how something's gonna turn out,
Yeah.
like add a glug of sesame oil and it's usually okay, you know?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
So then you add the.
Rice.
My cooking station looks crazy.
Same, look. I even dropped a piece of rice. All right, let's pack it in there.
So you add this first, the loose rice.
Mm-hmm. And then for the topping,
Years later.
and then here we are. Ready?
Come on.
That's literally me like every time I film, so I feel you on that.
Okay, ready? Are we ready? Or
Are you doing it like that?
I don't know. I'm nervous. You
Moment
ready?
of truth. Drum roll.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute!
Wow,
Ta-da! Good job! So cute!
Yay! So aroma, 10 out out of 10. A hint of spice, a hint of butter, some sesame oil, sesame seeds. It's all in the nasal area. Aroma's great. Presentation, beautiful volcano structure. Wow, excellent, perfect. Ooh, I like how the sides are a little like coming out together because it's a good indication that your rice is very fluffy. So, I don't know, that's a tie for appearance, I would say.
Oh.
I think the final decider would be in the taste.
Oh.
Ooh, okay.
Should we?
Yeah, you can hear how crunchy it is, like hitting the plate.
Okay.
Wow.
Try it. Oh, right here. I'm gonna eat all of it.
Okay. So,
House kitchen.
oh my god, this is so pretty. Yours is so pretty too, so fluffy too.
All right, so Tina is now going to taste Stefanie's
My creation.
of the rice.
She said it was pretty.
Yeah,
It's like going everywhere. It's so messy, which is a good indication that it's super fluffy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very spicy. It's a little bit spicy.
No, but it's
How is it?
perfect amount of spice actually.
Oh.
Also, I'm surprised that it's well seasoned because I was afraid that it might be under seasoned because you put less of the spice packet. But I think the butter and everything, it works really, really well. It's like what you crave. It's not like super like spicy. Like there's not a lot of flavor, but it's like flavor that you want to come back to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try yours now.
I feel so proud.
This is like untouched.
Okay,
So
okay.
let's give it a shot.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not gonna do it. Okay.
You know, I actually really like the fact that some of the green onion like condiments are slightly
burnt?
charred because I love like burnt green onion flavor.
Oh,
That's
really?
what like fine dining restaurants use, like black
Oh,
oil,
I
blackened
didn't know
oil.
All right. Just tasting my creation now.
Same ingredients,
Mm-hmm.
same process, but they taste so different. Yours is more like smoky. Like I get a bit more
burnt.
eggy. no. But the thing is, if you burn anything, it's char. Like not burnt, char.
Okay.
So it's like nice smokiness. You have the egg, and I really love the fact that there's uneven structures of the noodle too. No, it
That's
works.
a nice way to
No, but
say
it works. It really does
She's like-
work. Like off camera, it really works, and I like the textural component of it. I'm very, very pleasantly surprised with it, and then much more spiciness to it, but both very, very good.
You're so good at explaining things like flavors and texture. I'd be like, this is good. This sucks. There's only like black or white.
Lab reports.
Yeah. That's really
That's
amazing
cool.
how detailed you can be about this. And even like you said, same process, same ingredients, but like a different outcome. That's so shingy.
You guys should trade and then taste each other's.
Okay. From this side.
They actually taste so different.
Really?
Yeah.
On some of your burned onions.
Mm-hmm.
Charred onions, sorry.
This tastes very buttery. I love this time of year, but hate the pressure that comes with trying to find the perfect gift. So one of the hardest people to get gifts for is definitely my friends with children, because I don't want to get them something that will clutter the house or that they'll throw away in a year. Luckily, this episode's sponsor gives me a solution. So this year, I'm giving them a gift to last a lifetime, the gift of learning with Outschool. Outschool offers the largest variety of live interactive online classes for kids pre-K through high school. Classes are actually fun and cover every interest you can think of and some you can't, like video game design, cartoon animation, playing an instrument, speaking a language, creative writing, and so much more. There's something for any kid. Classes are super affordable. You can choose the size and group that works best for your child, giving them the experience that's best for them. Outschool even has one-on-one classes. Classes bring kids together around their shared passions and interests, helping them to fall in love with learning, make real connections, and new friends. Outschool makes it easy for kids to learn what they love, a gift that gives back to them over over and over for their whole lives. I'm definitely going to give my friends' children a gift that will last a lifetime, and you can too. To learn more about all Outschool has to offer and save $15 off your child's first class, go to outschool.com/bar. That's OUTSCHOOL.com/bar to save $15 off your child's first class. Outschool.com/bar. All right. That was fun.
This was the most fun finale ever. This is so delicious.
Yeah, it really is good.
This is so good. I hope you guys can also try this at home. It was a little bit chaos here, but I feel like you just need that.
I mean, that's how it's real life. It is very good.
Okay. Well, with that, we conclude season 2.
Yeah. I know.
Is it done?
It's done. Thank you so
done.
much.
12 episodes. Thank you guys so much for listening, watching. Thank you to all the guests. We had a fun time, learned a lot.
Right. And thank you, Tina, for joining us today.
Thank you,
This was so fun.
Yeah.
I'm just so happy.
Please share with our listeners where they can find you. All of your socials, please.
So it's at doobydobap on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, also on Pinterest. So I'll be here.
Thank you so much. And I'm definitely going to check out more recipes because I want some of that hipjiro in my kitchen as well. If you wish to stay updated on our show, make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at The Dive Studios. Full episodes are up on youtube.com/divepods.
Also, please join us on Patreon at patreon.com/The Dive Studios for exclusive content and ad-free listening from the Dive Studios network.
Once again, subscribe to and review this podcast. And thank you again so much for making season 2 happen. And I hope you guys enjoy all of the episodes. They're up on every platform and YouTube as well, because you definitely want to watch this on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fun.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
You like that?
You like that?
You want some of that?
You want some of that? If you enjoyed this video, please give this video a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to this channel.
And please turn on the notification bell and you'll never miss an episode.
Nope.